You know what I mean? I love Paul McCartney and on most rap music. Shout out Kanye West.
The best Beatle.
The best.
Not
He
Kanye.
is the best. No.
Paul.
Kanye West, the best Beatle.
That's been the title of the podcast.
Gone is a dream and the sun with the two I can fade away, but I don't want to. For what you give, they want all of that back, and there's nothing in bed but your own muddy head. Like, ooh, I've seen the life. Like, ooh, I've seen the life. Because 60 days in paradise could blow your mind. Hey, when the clocks don't look familiar and the changing, rearranging all sound the same. Hey, when you feel like you're older than time, just keep your head up high, cause the waves on the way, and one day we're gonna all have to swim. I'ma go swim away into the depths of a new day where the sun is always shining in my mind. I'ma go swim away into the dawning of a new day where the birds are always chirping, I feel alive. Gone is a dream and the moon with the two I can fade away, but I don't want to. For what you give, they want all of that back, and there's nothing in bed but your own muddy head. Like, ooh, I've seen the life. Like, ooh, I've seen the life. Because 60 days in paradise could blow your mind. Hey, when the clocks don't look familiar and the changing, rearranging all sound the same. Hey, when you feel like you're older than time, just keep your head up high, cause the waves on the way, and one day we're gonna all have to swim. And I'ma go swim away into the depths of a new day where the sun is always shining in my mind. And I'ma go swim away into the dawning of a new day where the birds are always chirping, I feel alive. We live where we can't decide. You gotta paint aside the lines. They'll always try and hold you back, but your words will give them a heart attack. So I could run away and leave it there, but you block the doors up with your chair. Your attitude is making me sick, crucifying my life, but I'll take it in stride. Hey, when the clocks don't look familiar and the changing, rearranging all sound the same. Hey, when you feel like you're older than time, just keep your head up high, cause the waves on the way, and one day we're gonna all have to swim. Or I'ma go swim away into the depths of a new day where the sun is always shining in my mind. Or I'ma go swim away into the dawning of a new day where the birds are always chirping, I feel alive. I'ma go swim away.
All right, everybody, very welcome to the Beardfire podcast here today. Beardfire music podcast with Right Job. Have I said that right?
Yeah.
Job?
How's it going?
Yeah.
Very
Right
good job.
job.
Yeah.
Apparently that's the band name for today, but it might change
It's just-
at
it's
the
just
time of
right.
recording. Yeah,
At time of recording, yeah. And
we'll just like edit over it, like
Asterisk,
just
yeah.
have like a robot voice come in and say the actual
Just
name.
right.
To be
Yeah,
continued. To be continued.
So let's introduce everybody.
I'm CJ.
I'm Josh. Rian.
I'm Don.
Garrett. So these lads have been coming into the studio, causing all kinds of ruckus. They're ruckus
Always.
causers. No, they're actually, like, honestly, guys, you know, it's just great to see young people making good music, you know, here
this is
today, as always. And, you know, I suppose the first thing I just want to ask is, like, how did you find each other?
We're all mates. We're
Okay.
all mates since
actually
we're
went
kids.
to
Well, that's
school.
boring.
Yeah, next question.
No, we're all mates. Callum and Garrett were actually best friends in school, and me and Josh were at the free. What was it again?
Carstena, we went to school.
We went
and
to school. Yeah, the three of us. The four of us went to
me
school
and him
together.
always had like a passion for music. We both went to BIM. That's probably since
Did you
we
go?
changed.
Did you go to BIM?
Oh, you
Yeah,
went to BIM as well.
he was in the year above us in school.
And was
and,
that how you found? No, you know, so you knew each other from school as well.
yeah, and then did you do the PhD?
CPD.
He did the CPD, and we ended up being the same year then in BIM, and we just used to meet up with each other because he was from my area. We used to smoke weed together, chill out, jam, and yeah, like we ended up just becoming mates. We're there's another guy.
Don't tell the CPD.
There's another guy that we were rehearsing with. We just met up during the COVID. Like it wasn't even a band kind of. We didn't even intend to make a band. We were just like, we'll just meet up and we'll just jam together. We'll just smoke and chill.
Yeah, I think it was during COVID. We just started going to Pirate Studios together, jamming. We had nothing
Yeah.
better to do.
Really?
And then we basically just go, let's start a band.
Then you found a better spot.
Yeah, and then Rain
Yeah.
started. Rain, I never even knew Rain was much into music, and then Rain just got mad into music. He's mad talented. Shout out to my man Rain.
Yeah, we were trying to make rap records for ages out my backyard, and then we're like,
Into
you know
the
what?
And got
Do you
so
know what?
far.
Sean, this skin pigment isn't going to let us go as far as
There's only room for one at a time, and Eminem's got it. Like
exactly. Yeah,
That's why you
exactly.
moved to
And
the
now-
back
and now
house
look
and
where
nowhere.
he's at these days. Fucking school shooter
This
records,
is
like.
it, man. This is it. And then me and Garrett just approached. I remember me and Josh were sitting on the obelisk in the Phoenix Park. We were at the free weed protest.
It's a mad story.
It's a crazy story. So I remember I was smoking this mad. Excuse my language. I was smoking this mad bush weed, and Josh was doing a stash and dash, and I was like, can't move, man. And we were watching Garrett, like I seen Garrett walking around, and I was like, he's really like me. I was like, don't know, I just got his vibe. And next thing you know, I'm sitting there like looking over the obelisk and like, oh god, my life be like, ooh. And I look over to my right, and he's just sitting there, and he's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, you started Garrett. He's definitely an undercover Garrett.
he still might be. It might be a really long game.
It's got like a bullet.
No, we thought he was a
vest
ghost.
under that jacket.
I thought he was a ghost.
thought he was a
He
ghost.
just disappeared into like thin
might
air
be.
at one
He
stage.
still could be. He
Just
still
follow.
definitely
And
could be.
funny enough, I'm only after learning that he actually went to the same primary school as me, Don,
And
And he's from the same area, Rough Farnham, as all of
and
us.
it was so crazy because we met him and he was like talking and stuff, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm from our farm. We were like, oh yeah, we're from our farm too. Turns out Garrett and Callum, just they're a year older than us. We were born in 1990. I think you were born.
They're
in
brothers.
2000. And then next thing
we
you
don't
know,
know.
we found out that Garrett and Callum were actually best friends. They're like that in primary school. So it was written in the stars. Like we were all meant to meet. Like I think in my eyes, because I always say everything happens for a reason. But that's why we're here. Do you know what I mean?
That's
the
pretty
buzz.
good. That's a pretty good reason.
It's a pretty good. It's better than we're just mates.
Yeah. We've qualified.
There's more of a story to it. There's more of a story to it.
So in terms of the creative side of it, say from the writing, who writes the songs? What are you doing? How does this all work?
Well, at the moment, really, me and Don have come up with most of the lyrics.
Okay.
But, like,
Yeah.
everyone has creative input all
Yeah.
the time. Like, we all have our own songs. Like that song you just heard, I wrote that alone in my room. I was after
in the
coming
shower.
back.
In the
Yeah,
shower.
in the shower. I was after come back from studying in Finland, and I was feeling rather melancholic. And
Yeah,
I just
as
captured that feeling. I think.
It has the flavour of the Aurora Borealis.
This
Exactly.
is it. It was absolutely inspired by the Aurora Borealis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Show
though I
us
said it
your Aurora Borealis.
Get your Aurora.
But I think we have a unique style in the sense that like we all do write songs.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm singing. Sometimes it's Don. Sometimes it's.
I think of everyone.
We all
like,
have like our main kind of
Yeah,
vibe,
like-
mostly rhythm. He's
Yeah.
lead, bass, but we all take turns in singing and stuff.
Right.
So
Garrett's a complete multi-instrumentalist as well. Garrett plays
Yeah,
everything.
Garrett
Garrett
plays
can play
everything.
bass, drums, guitar. He's serious.
You did
He's
the
a
flute,
serious
no?
singer, songwriter.
The Tin Whistle
He plays the Tin Whistle.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's part of the Tin Whistle Association of Ireland.
Are you?
No.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, by the end of this podcast, he might actually be.
We're gonna found it. Me, him, Darren Conway are gonna found the.
Oh, does it not exist yet? The Tin Whistle Association of Ireland.
It exists.
That sounds like something
in our
It
that
minds.
does sound like something that does exist.
Yeah.
Somewhere in
definitely.
Connemara, probably. Like
Definitely somewhere in Connemara. They've nothing else
They
to do out
they
there.
just pluck the tin whistles off the trees there in
Yeah, they just
Connemara.
grow,
That's where they
yeah,
grow
they
from,
grow.
isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
oh, you have to see it, man. You really do.
So listen, you guys are young whippersnappers.
That's us.
I like that.
You could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say
Of a
that.
sort, yeah.
What's the story with Ireland at the moment? Like just like, all right, so you just,
Done.
I think
Done.
the way I see it, most bands in Dublin suck, and the way the music's going these days with the bands in Dublin, man, I've seen a lot of the bands, and like they're not
do you
really.
care to name a few?
Yeah, no, they're trying to make this.
hang on,
They're trying to make this
yeah.
land like kind of ethereal, kind of new sounding stuff. Like no one's sticking to the roots. No one's playing real music.
Rock and roll.
So that's no one's playing rock and roll. No one's actually jamming and just chilling out and just being themselves. Like a lot of the musicians in Ireland at the moment are just, especially in Dublin, are trying to kind of conform to a certain sound, or they're doing something that they think that they should be doing. You know what I mean? But they're not actually just being themselves. So that's what we kind of came in to do. That's the vision. Like, is to just kind of revive the real music, you know what I mean? Like, do it the way that the greats did it, you know what I mean? That's what we intend to. That's what we intend
I think
to be.
we all have like passion for old music. I think that's the one big
Definitely,
thing.
We're not trying to
grow
make
up
some.
on, like-
We're not trying to like go into 20 years into the future and trying to make some,
Not trying to
spacey-
reinvent the wheel.
Ironically, I think everyone is in the same 20 years in the future making the same music that they think is
Yeah.
new.
And that's what's
So it
funny.
kind of-
I always used to say, like, remember when the girls all started acting alternative, and then alternative became the new mainstream. So then they actually
Yeah, it's a
like,
cycle.
It's like punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And-
yes.
and-
It's
and
the
also-
same stuff recycled.
But it's the
essentially.
same thing as well, because you get the situation where by the time we saw it kind of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even, God, it's that long ago, like when Ed Sheeran, God forbid, was blowing up. Listen, I'm just using him as an example, right?
Of what not to do.
No, right, yeah, and then you go to all the open mics and you see these bands and every dude's there like slapping his guitar and rapping in an English accent for no reason. It's from Cabra, and you've got this situation. Whereas he's done. If you're trying to emulate the current thing that's happening, you're too late.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you
have to
see
be
a lot
the
of.
current thing.
You have to be the current thing, and it's funny, because it's like, the artists of the past, they've all. There is kind of this thing where it's like, the Beatles were listening to bands, 15, 20 years before them, and then and you've got this situation where if you're too stuck in competing, I think with the absolute cutting edge of what's happening now, by the time you've released your record, it's a year later, and it's like, well, it's too late. So you really, and the thing is, you have to, instead of chasing a sound, chase your own, your own, whatever makes you feel good at the time.
Well, that's what's great about our band, because like the influences are so vast. Like Callum would listen to like Avenged Sevenfold. And I hate that stuff. No,
One or two songs.
I play bass. You can't even hear the bass in metal. Like,
Two songs.
Well,
That's
they
then,
put so
like-
much distortion in it, like.
exactly, yeah. It'd be like from Avenged Sevenfold to like Blind Melon. As of late, we've all been really getting into them.
Yeah, Blonde Melons are sick, man. And then Josh is into like more mad spacey stuff, like, and the real kind of
Psychedelics.
psychedelic kind of blues and
I
psychedelic.
Yeah.
So I
Loves the Doors,
I
man.
love all that old music.
Yeah, I love Paul McCartney. You know what I mean? I love Paul McCartney and most rap music. Shout out Kanye West.
Best Beatle.
The best.
Not
He is
Kanye.
the best.
Paul.
Kanye West, the best Beatle.
That's been the title of the podcast.
But yeah, I
I think
think
that's probably a conspiracy
100%.
theory anyway.
Ah, definitely.
Kanye West was a Beatle.
Is Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
He's George Martin.
And how many Paul McCartneys are they on now? Like 3 or something?
There's at least 3 or 4
Yeah.
Paul McCartneys.
He was replaced back in 1964.
I know, at least once.
Look, that's a whole other story.
Everyone. No. This
That's for
is
the next podcast.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's. What's the? And we can edit it. What's the most like? What's one thing one of you guys like thinks that no one else believes?
Oh.
I don't want to say.
Just give everything to Don.
This
Honestly.
is going to be like a 10-second bleep.
I just
Like-
gotta go to the toilet.
maybe
mic
not.
up.
I've got a few
In
conspiracy
terms of
theories
like
now.
music.
Go on, hit me up.
Just anything, but
Okay.
Okay.
I think Jesus was the first conspiracy theorist.
theorist
I think,
or theory.
No, like he was. I think he was just a madman, like running around in like ayahuasca
Oh,
or something.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
a madman just saying all this crazy shit, and
Yeah.
people never heard it before, and they were just like, "Hold on, he might be onto something."
Yeah, I know.
And then next thing
you
I say, right, you know what? I had enough of him.
Yeah.
I have one that Leitrim isn't
He got
real.
cancelled.
Leitrim
Leitrim
doesn't exist.
is not real, and anyone that says they're from Leitrim is
a liar.
capping. Yeah,
They're from
lying.
Sligo and they
They're
just don't
lying.
want to admit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, have you
What,
met
are you
someone
from Leitrim?
No, I'm not.
You're from Canada,
No one's
bro.
from Leitrim. It's not real. Like,
That's what I mean. Maybe. Yeah, it is. It's real though, isn't it? Not
it's a state of
Leitrim.
mind, yeah.
Leitrim is a state of mind. Is Leitrim where we?
That's a state of Kip. That's what.
Wait a second, my whole life just got changed, man.
Shout out
That's
to
the
the
Leitrim,
blown.
the Leitrim massive. All right, you got. So in terms of where you see yourselves like doing, like you want to do gigs, what do you want to do? What's the dream? What would be what would be the ultimate gig? Like who's on the bill and you guys are headlining?
Electric Picnic, obviously, for a start.
Yeah,
it's
festival.
in the
100%.
list. Like,
The
we're Irish. The way I see it, right? The way
back
I always
oxygen.
saw it when I was growing up and I was thinking, I was like, oh, you know what? I want to be like the way I see it. There was like the Beatles, there's the Stones, there's the Doors, and
The
then
Wiggles.
the Wiggles.
Wiggles.
Sandy from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, hey,
Sandy.
Sandy,
I was into it.
Sandy was referenced.
We're actually 3 weeks ago,
The
yeah.
ocean is no place for a squirrel.
Okay, that makes
that's
2
the way I
episodes
see
with
it.
that song in it
The
now.
last proper band, there was the Kings of Leon, Arctic Monkeys, probably the last band in it, but until they start doing coke a lot, there hasn't been a big.
I feel like
exactly.
Fontaines are trying to get that place, but I feel like there's even a lot of people we know that don't like them.
Well, no, see
I
the
never
thing with
listened to them.
Fontaines, right? Oh, man, we're just like this is the beef cast. This is like, no, see, I think oh man, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Like,
Go on,
but
say it.
You got
I
it.
just think they're doing that kind of that post punk kind of sound, and it's really
Joy
good.
Division
You know what people want?
kind of.
It's like, and I think it's great. They play instruments. You know, that's what's important for me. They play real instruments. They play rock and roll. They play rock music. They have poetic lyrics. All that stuff's great, right? But I'm just thinking in terms of like that next level. And you talk about the Arctic Monkeys, like the songs. Like the thing that the Arctic Monkeys did is, as well as have great rock songs, is they had like hooks. They had like clever, like,
sure.
they had
Yeah,
songs.
that's
a memorable thing.
That's the thing what falls down with
Yeah.
Fontaines for me. It's
That's-
just
that's
the
it for
lead
me.
singing. Because it's not a lot of times
just
it's
a
not
bit
even
dry-
singing.
like, yeah.
And it just can be kind of dull.
What
Like,
is
they
this-
have
what
great
is
songs.
What is the skinty fear? I don't understand that, man. Why would you name it? I don't get it, man.
Is it a-
the French girls like I guess, but man, what does skinty fear mean? Come on.
But
like,
I think in Dublin, there's
get
just
with
this very like small-minded mindset in Dublin.
we have a slang
Anyone
mindset,
out, tries to do anything out the bracket.
they're like, you think you're better than me? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't say it. You said it.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
now I'm
I
saying
thought
it.
You
No, but
said
like
it.
I'm talking in terms of just the whole of Dublin. I
Yeah.
think they're
No,
very
that's definitely
small-minded
something
and
that
like
happens.
Yeah,
we're like
definitely.
20 years behind America. We're like 10 years
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
Britain.
yeah.
do you
Even
know what I
still,
mean?
like, you
So,
know,
like if you do
And
anything
then
out
if
of the
someone gets
bracket,
massive outside of Ireland, then they're like, oh, we
all of a
always
sudden,
love
no,
those
we always
guys.
love them. So in terms of so we got the Electric Picnic, but who's supporting you in this gig? Who's on first? And it can be anyone.
Alive
Cable,
or
yeah,
dead?
shout out Cable.
shout out Cable.
Shout out
yeah.
Cable.
Cable.
Who's
Shout out
Cable?
Shout out Ben
My
Mooney,
God,
man.
Ben
We
Mooney.
went to school with him. I was in a band with him called Rune 19. That's one for later years. People can find out that. Yeah, I was in a band called
The
Rune
hidden
19.
demos. There's a new band called Mr. Pink, actually. Our mate's cousin's the lead singer. They're kind of
Really
grungy.
like that, yeah.
They're really good.
Shout out Oscar Bowles, best rapper in Dublin, easy. Shout out Gav Curtis as well. He's pretty
Right,
cool,
yeah, we
man.
don't want to give all the other
Sorry,
people
no,
shit.
sure.
bro,
Shout
relax
out
now.
Luke Matt.
Yeah, shout out Luke, man.
Shout out Jesus, the first conspiracy theorist.
No, but we do have,
Shout out
a
Sandy
few
Cheeks.
other friends in the business, but it's like mostly there's a lot of rappers we know.
Yeah, yeah.
Rap's coming up now in
Yeah,
Dublin.
big
Time.
time.
And
Dublin
rap
rap,
with music too.
That's
Rap
why you
with
guys
rock.
were trying to
Yeah.
make rap songs before.
Pretty much, rap with
we're
guitars.
trying
like.
to make like songs that you can sing in, but you kind of bust into a
Yeah,
rap.
it's
Minus
more
the
about-
synths and all that other.
Yeah, but just
more
proper
acoustic, like
Yeah. Sounds fucking
Shout out
great.
Rich James.
All right. Well, listen. Before we wrap up, what do you want to say in terms of like why people got to follow your music?
Because we're the best.
We're the best. All
There
right.
you go. You heard it here first.
Right.
Because we're the best.
baby.
Yeah, because we're deadly fast. Right job.
We're a right job, yeah.
Because we are a right job. That's why we picked the name right job. Because right job means like if you're to explain.
Because
to
we're a bunch of
someone-
odd and you need that in your life.
Yeah, man. You know what? I always say it's
You
a
need
crazy
5
world.
men.
It's a crazy world. The only people that are
five guys.
saying in a crazy
Five
world
guys.
are crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only people that are saying it's a crazy world. And the only people that are saying in the crazy world are crazy. Boy, we're crazy.
We want some crazy boys in our world.
Well, this is it, man. Like, if you try to be normal, like, why would you try to be saying it in the crazy world? Like, look at the way the world's going.
It's an absolute nightmare, man. So you
is,
just
man.
try and enjoy every minute of it. And on that point, like, you know, do you find Ireland to be an expensive, oppressive, difficult place? A lot of people before used to be. I mean, I know it's not South Africa or something.
Cleo Varker.
I mean, yes, but I wouldn't change it.
No, exactly, right? Because this is the thing. right?
Again,
'Cause
what
a lot
Don
of
said,
people-
everything happens for a meaning, and I
that's
I
for a
was
reason, bro.
born here
Those
for a
kind of
reason.
environments
every
are where
meaning has
music
its
comes
reason.
from. You know what I mean? You need those environments to.
That's true. That's where the
Force you to
best art
create
comes
something.
from. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're a great time all the
We're
time.
kind of a
You don't
lockdown
have time
project,
to
like so.
jam out and make
That's how
music.
we started.
yeah.
And there was some great music coming out of lockdown anyway.
Yeah, I think your
Yeah.
environment inspires your music a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
If there's anything we've learned from this podcast, is that lockdown was the best thing ever.
Best thing
was,
was.
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah,
us, it
true.
actually did.
Got
Yeah.
350 a
It
week.
didn't seem like it at the time, but
I'm sitting on your
Come
home.
on,
I know, it was great. I
Minus the
remember.
many days just when you didn't get out of bed going, this, like.
Yeah.
I always think
was
about
great,
what
like.
would have happened if COVID didn't happen. Where would we be? We'd probably still be doing the same boring lives.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
So we'll end on that.
Speak for yourself.
COVID, best thing that happened, guys. Yeah.
I'm Leitrim's
Yeah,
not
gentlemen,
Yes,
it was,
sir.
it was an absolute pleasure. Thanks so
Absolute
much.
pleasure.
Thanks, everyone.
Listen,
Cheers.
Fist
thanks.
bumps all
guys.
around.
this is the most awkward fist bump ever.
Peace, love, respect.
Peace, love.
Yeah,
That's
we're
how
coming.
it is.
Peace, love,
Come here.
respect. I'm coming for you. You guys see us.
Apologize, sir.
Peace out.
Check out Right Job
Peace.
on
I'll be on the ground, I'll hit you up, I
Instagram,
miss
YouTube.
you.
On hit him up on Tinder or whatever it is these days.
Right
whatever
Job on
everyone's doing.
Instagram.
Yeah, I
Right, Will
ring me,
Job.
085.
Oh, 5.
He's on Viber.
Cheers.